Good afternoon, everyone. This is Allison Turner coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. I wanted to jump on today and talk a little bit about staying in the present moment and really adopting the phrase, "This too shall pass." We are always looking for those new opportunities. We're always, and I shouldn't say everyone is, but many people are always looking towards the future of like, what if this happens? What if this happens? And there's tons of people that are lamenting the past. Oh, why did I do it this way? Why did I interact with this person this way? Could I have done something differently? And ultimately, all we have is the moment at hand right this second. We can't change the past. We can't predict the future. We can certainly impact our future. We can certainly influence our future, but we can't completely control it. So in business, I can't tell you how often I've dealt with people in the world of startups and newer business owners that are always challenged by, oh my God, did I make the right decision? So they're thinking about whatever that past decision is, or what if I don't make this upcoming decision right? And they just freak out. And it's finding that sense of calmness. It's finding that sense of wholeness of, whatever it is, this too shall pass. And it could be a good situation or a bad situation. It works both ways. I could get the best client I've ever had today, and tomorrow something negative could happen, but both situations are going to pass and the new situation happens. So 5 points I want to just jump on and talk about are, number one, everything's impermanent in our lives. Sometimes we think too much on what's going on in our life. So sometimes we put too much emphasis, I should say, on a situation that's happened, especially in the past, or even like a big decision of like, oh, what if I do this versus this? And we put too much emphasis on it. And I'm not saying don't do that at all, but once something's passed, like you really can't change anything at that point. You can learn from the experience, but you can't change anything. So everything's impermanent in our lives. So how do we continue to move forward so we're not either paralyzed by what's going on in our life, or frustrated, or I know so many people, and not just in business, but in life too, that they're still living in whatever this past situation is that happened in their family, for example. But once it's past, it's past. We can't go back and change it. We can only work from here forward. Number two, when you really adopt that motto of this too shall pass, it gives you that resilience and that hope, that those next moments are going to improve, especially when it's like a negative situation that happened. Barring, even if you make some major financial issue, thing that maybe hurts your company short term, this too shall pass, and then you move forward. There's always that next step. Number three, really appreciating the humility in a situation. So when if I've had some big success, I can't just kind of rest on my laurels, so to speak. I can't say, okay, I'm going to ride on this wave up here, because ultimately this too shall pass. Getting that next big client in business, in the entrepreneur's journey, is always a replenishing thing. And we always talk about, and I always talk about, the entrepreneur's roller coaster. So we're up and we're down. So things happen in your business. The economy changes, something affects, the pandemic hits. And so we're up and down, but it's how we interact with the situation that really makes the difference. And that's where that this too shall pass comes in, is how do we face the situation head on and appreciate, what's happened in the past and the opportunities to come, but ultimately say, this too shall pass. So when I hit that negative situation, it's not forever. It's right now. I deal with it right now, and then this too shall pass. For perspective, that's one of the biggest things I would say this motto of this too shall pass gives me is perspective, because it's not going to stay this way. Things happen for a moment in time. I mean, think of your life. Think of all your journey, whether you're my age, younger than me, older than me. Think of your journey and what's happened across your life, personally, professionally, whatever. Where are those pivotal moments? So yes, some of those pivotal moments may change the course of your life, but ultimately things changed and either improved. Sometimes they went down, but ultimately this too shall pass. That doesn't mean, if you have a death of a loved one, that you're going to forget about the person. I'm not saying that, but this too shall pass, meaning that moment in time when it happens, it gets easier. Maybe it's not easy. I'm not saying that, but it gets easier, and you have to appreciate the good times moving forward. At number 5, the biggest thing I can stress with this is continue to live in the present moment. Appreciate what's around you. Appreciate, what you have. I mean, that's one of the things I work to do most mornings is write down 10 things I'm grateful for. It might be family, friends, my animals, my house, my, living in Florida, but appreciate things and really appreciate the beauty. Like depending on where you live, most of us live in a place that we enjoy living in. I mean, I live in Florida. I enjoy being outside, even in this heat. I enjoy being outside. I enjoy the beauty. I took some fabulous photos of a sunrise the other morning, which were great. So appreciate that beauty. Appreciate what's going on in your life and really live in the present moment, because the biggest detractor in business is that roller coaster ride. And yes, we'll have it. Don't get me wrong. You're going to have those sleepless nights, especially when you start a business, but appreciate the moment. So even those negative moments, this too shall pass. Those positive moments, celebrate them, but this too shall pass. It works both ways. And once we can really grasp that, it makes accepting the moment so much easier. And I will tell you, it's taken me many years to get to this point, because when I started this business with a business partner, that was not the case. I would wake up in the middle of the night all the time, and I still do occasionally, but I would have these challenges. I would just flip out. Things would happen, and I would just get frustrated. I'd be like, oh, could I have done it this way? And then worrying about the future. That's probably my biggest thing. Like before was like, oh my God, like, do I do it this way? Do I do it this way? Like, what's the right choice? But when you really say this too shall pass, so here's your options, here's how you move forward, and just make those choices. So I hope this was helpful to someone out there, because I really believe that in life, the biggest thing we can do is stay in that present moment and appreciate everything around us. And yes, we're going to have some ups and downs personally, professionally, but realize that all situations are impermanent. Someone may pass away in our lives, and yes, that's a permanent thing, but the moment of that passing where we're feeling the most pain does pass, and we do improve. No, it's never going to be perfect, but embrace what those present moments and those positives are. So I wish everyone a great rest of your day. And remember, this too shall pass. Opportunities come, opportunities go, but whether they're positive or negative, they all pass. And really appreciate where you are right now in this present moment. And that's how you create a focused, successful life, is really staying here and knowing that you can move forward and it's all under your control, because every moment this too shall pass.